Dear Venezuelan brothers and sisters, this isn't a lecture. I'm not here to tell you how you're supposed to feel, think, or what you're supposed to say. Your relief is valid. Your happiness is valid. Your celebrations are valid. You have survived things that most people have no idea about. This is a reminder for all of you and all of us, a reminder born in history that just because a tyrant falls, it doesn't mean control ends. In the last days, there has been lots of buzz coming from South America. Former communist dictator Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Cilia Flores, were captured during a U.S. military operation in Caracas on the 3rd of January, 2026. They were transported to the United States and are currently in federal custody in New York, facing drug trafficking and narco-terrorism charges in federal court. Maduro made his first court appearance in Manhattan on Sunday, according to multiple outlets. U.S. President Donald Trump boasted about it and made his intentions real clear in regards to Venezuela's oil and other natural resources. Many Venezuelans, especially those who fled years of repression, shortages, and political imprisonment, are expressing relief and hope. They are indeed very happy about this outcome, regardless of any secondary effects. For decades, critics of the Maduro government documented widespread abuses, massive corruption, suppression of dissent, and economic collapse that displaced millions. So it's important to acknowledge that for many good people, this moment carries emotional weight beyond politics. Almost 100% of the Venezuelans I've met in person have expressed their heartbreak over what has happened to their beautiful country in the last 25 years. None of them has spoken nicely about Hugo Chavez or Nicolás Maduro. In many ways, I'm very happy for them. It's their country, it's their right to celebrate. But caution is needed. This was a military operation crossing sovereign territory without the United Nations authorization. Not that it matters much. And while most Venezuelans hail this as liberation, some daring talking heads see it as illegal interventionism. To those complaining over ideological reasons, how else would you remove a dictator who steals elections, imprisons, tortures, and kills the opposition? There is no other way, period. On the opposite aisle, some Trump supporters defend and celebrate this as protecting American interests, never mind the Israeli control of their government, and Trump campaigning on mostly isolationism as he critiqued Joe Biden's support towards Ukraine. But when it comes to Israel, $18 billion have been funneled since January 2025, perhaps even more under the table. Sadly, most people support war depending on who is the one in charge.
I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars.
No more wars, no more disruptions. We will have prosperity and we will have peace. Under Trump, we will have no more wars, no more disruptions, and we will have prosperity and peace for all. I am the candidate of peace. I am peace.
This wasn't about freedom versus tyranny, left versus right, good versus evil, or even capitalism versus communism. This was a prearranged, pre-negotiated Freemasonic scheme, reflecting the principles of dualism and the Hegelian dialectics. It's all a globalist psychological operation. The intelligence community has a long history with covert operations worldwide, often resulting in botched regime changes. Those of us looking as outsiders feel bittersweet about it all, as we know it all follows a destructive and satanic agenda meant to polarize, distract, and control the minds of everybody. The United States is very effective at removing governments, but consistently poor at producing stable institutions, sovereign economies, or legitimate post-regime governance. In nearly every case, power vacuums were filled by militias, oligarchs, extremists, or foreign actors. You have the Taliban in Afghanistan in 2001 with a negative result, short-term stability, a 20-year war, and the Taliban returned stronger in 2021 after that disastrous betrayal. Then you have Saddam Hussein in Iraq, deposed in 2003 with a state collapsing, sectarian wars, ISIS, and long-term instability. Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, deposed in 2011. A catastrophic result on this one, failed state, militias, open-air slave markets, and regional destabilization. Have in mind, Hussein and Gaddafi were both dictators, and perhaps a bit cruel in their own ways, but they were in control of their people, and they had successfully blocked most of the Mossad-funded radicalization and false flag conflicts among their people, which allowed to mitigate the migrant crisis for a long time. Then you have Jean-Bertrand Aristide in Haiti, deposed in 2004, chronic instability, gang rules, foreign dependency. We all know what happened with the Clinton Foundation and all that. Manuel Zelaya in Honduras, deposed in 2009, resulting in institutional decay, migration surge, and cartel penetration. Viktor Yanukovych, Ukraine, deposed in 2014, perhaps one of the most serious ones, as the civil conflict exploded after that with a proxy war and full-scale invasion, which of course all of us are paying for. And last, Hosni Mubarak in Egypt, deposed in 2011, which resulted in a brief democratic opening and, later on, military rule restored. Did you really think China and Russia were about to quit Venezuelan resources just like that? Or perhaps was this pre-negotiated using Taiwan, Ukraine, and who knows what else as bargaining chips? We're enslaved by the shadow Jewish empire who pulls the strings while playing possum and the eternal victim. The main enemy, Satan, has aligned his troops within the synagogue and has now chosen a new Zionist puppet to further the Antichrist agenda. Maria Corina Machado is often presented in Western media as an organic democratic savior. Sadly, it seems the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize winner is just another Zionist puppet. In an interview published last weekend on an Israeli newspaper, she said, "Venezuela will be Israel's closest ally in Latin America. We rely on Israel's support and in the transition to democracy. Many outside Venezuela are already picking teams. Pro-United States, anti-United States, pro-China, anti-China. Like this is a football match. Well, it isn't. This is about hoping the best for the Venezuelan people so they can see their country thrive again. Hopefully, as a sovereign state. If the country moves away from a socialist system, quality of life should improve, but improvement does not require submission. The danger is swapping one external grip for another while calling it liberation. If both countries benefit from this, I'm all for it, but I remain cautious. And of course, I do not trust any political administration that stands with Israel or else. To those of us watching from the outside, let's resist the urge to cheer for abstractions. Let's ask ourselves if the Venezuelans gain real stability, real sovereignty, and real dignity. Not just a new flag over a similar machinery, not just the lesser of two evils. Please subscribe, like this video, and share it around. Please stay grounded, protect your discernment, and focus on what really matters the most: God, family, and country. May Jesus be with you. God bless.